Hi, my name is Nancy O'Leary, and I'm a historical interpreter here at Washington Crossing Historic Park. And today I'd like to show you how butter was made in the 18th century. Now, as you know, it all starts with a cow. And in colonial times, they made a lot of butter in the spring when the grass was lush because the cows gave nice, rich milk. Now, the first step is to milk your cow, and then you take a pan like this and you take the milk and fill it up with your milk, and then eventually, usually overnight, the milk will separate and the fat will come to the top and the liquid will go to the bottom. At that point, you're ready to start churning your butter. What you're going to do is skim off the fat, and then you're going to take it and put it in your butter churn. Well, since I don't have a cow, I, of course, had to go to the market this morning, and I bought some cream. So I'm going to show you now how this would work. This is exactly what you would have. We're using heavy cream, and it's exactly what you would have if you were doing it from the cow. So I put some in my churn, and then what I'm going to do is put my paddle in. This is called the paddle. And there's a couple ways that people turn the paddle. But before I start turning, I'm going to put this cheesecloth around the top, because making butter can be pretty sloppy. The cream will come out of the top. So some people make butter by churning like this. I always find when I make my butter that it's better to paddle up and down and up and down and up and down as long as it takes. And that's how long it takes. You just keep going up and down and up and down. And this is why a lot of times this job was given to children. It kept the children busy for a long period of time, and mom knew where they were. Now, let's suppose that I finished churning my butter. As I'm churning, what's going to happen is I'm going to make more of the fat come out of the cream, and that's the butter, the solid part. But I will also have something called buttermilk left. Now, buttermilk was not wasted. It was used in pancakes and muffins and all kinds of baking. So what you would do was you would take your paddle out, and of course I did not churn this long enough, and then you would dump your butter and buttermilk into this pan, pour the buttermilk off into a pitcher, and then you're ready for the next step. The next step is to take these slotted paddles, and you can see there are different sizes. We have two different sizes we use here at the park. And what you do is you scoop up some of that fat and you put it on the paddles, and then you start going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And as you do that, you're going to squeeze more buttermilk out. And you continue to do that until all of the buttermilk is out. Now, once again, you're going to want to pour off any buttermilk that you get to save it for other recipes. Now you're ready for the second to last step, and that is when you have churned or gotten all the liquid out, you are going to rinse the butter. Just rinse it off and form it into a brick. Now, you can either eat some of that butter the day you make it, but most of the time what they did was they preserved it. And preserving was very easy. All they used was plain old salt. And the salt would be rubbed all over the outside of the butter. And believe it or not, this butter could be kept for up to 2 years if you kept it in a cool, dry place. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you today was something that colonial women used to make their tables look pretty. These are called butter molds. And as you can see, or if you can see, there's a small design in each of the molds. So what they would do is take some of the nice fresh butter they made, and they would put it inside and then smooth it off. And then they would let it sit in a cool place. When it came time for dinner, they would take a nice decorated plate and push the butter out onto the plate and turn it over, and then they would have a design on their butter which would make their table look pretty. So that's how they did it in colonial times. Took a lot more time than I'm taking today to explain it.